Yo, what is up y'all? Fatal Flora coming back at you with another indie review, and today we're taking a look at the new 2D open world RPG Ninth Dawn 3 Shadow of Erthil, both developed and published by Valorware. You can find it on Steam, PS4, Xbox, and Switch, as well as Android and iOS. I checked it out on Steam, and at the time of this review it was on sale in the Steam shop through October 12th for $9.91, marked down 38% from the normal price of $15.99. Ninth Dawn 3 is very obviously influenced by some old school action exploration RPGs with some dungeon crawling and monster capture elements thrown in as well. This game has a whole lot to offer right off the bat, the variety of which can seem almost overwhelming at first, similarly to the vast expanse of tasks available in some modern MMOs. It essentially, to me, felt like Diablo 2 or early Ultima games, though obviously without the massive community presence. And although there's no option for online gameplay, there is local couch co-op. The story is a little bit vague, and it has elements of mystery that you're supposed to unravel yourself, so I don't really want to give too much away, but it's basically a classic king tale where something is wrong with the king, something's wrong with the kingdom, and you need to investigate and figure out what's going on. In all honesty, it did feel a little bit clumsy at first given the floaty graphics and the hitboxes that didn't quite feel solid, though this is a complaint that I've had with a lot of recent games which use auto attack animations like Ninth Dawn 3 does. Valorware makes up for this though in a way that helps pinpoint accuracy, which is usually my biggest complaint when it comes to controls on this style. When attacking, there's a red cone which comes from the player to show the area of attack, which helps mitigate the seemingly aimless execution of auto attacks. Paired with a dodge roll and a quick bar for healing items, once you learn the ins and outs of the combat system, it quickly becomes a little bit more fun as you can put yourself in more risk-reward situations. If you die, fear not, as there are portals scattered throughout the land called blood spawns where you can set your respawn point. You won't lose anything on death aside from experience, so if you see a chest, go for it. There are plenty of dungeons and chests hanging around for the treasure hunters, so as always, stay sharp and don't be afraid to go off the path. The variety of gear was excellent, and I felt like I found something that would truly fit any playstyle, boasting over 300 weapons and over 500 pieces of armor. Great swords, daggers, axes, long swords, long bows, crossbows, magic staffs. The build variety and skill system was set up fantastically, requiring you to possess a certain skill level to use certain higher level gear. Though you gain stat points through leveling and gaining experience, these points go directly into your character stats such as health and strength, and weapon skills are improved simply by using that type of weapon more in combat. It's a great system that I felt rewards you for playing with your preferred weapon, though it can be frustrating to try out new builds as you'll need to find a lower level item to equip if you haven't yet leveled the mastery for that piece of gear. I spoke earlier about the immense variety of tasks to be found in Ninth Dawn 3, and this ranges all the way from traditional smithing, alchemy, fishing, and cooking, all the way to monster capture and taming. Ninth Dawn is the first RPG in this style that I've played that truly felt like it had the scope and freedom of some of the bigger, more popular RPGs. A lot of simpler style 2D RPGs tend to focus on the world that they've built and thrown you into with a very bare minimum, straightforward system for upgrades and weaponry. But Ninth Dawn is a truly personal experience from the beginning. None of these tasks are required to beat the game, as items each have their own individual stats. But if you so choose to create your own weapons, cook up your own healing items and potions, or create an army of monsters to help you along the way, the resources are there for you to do so. The variety of monsters is also insane, with over 270 unique creatures. It's probably a good idea to keep them on your good side when you're able. If the adventuring portion starts to wear you out and you need a break, fear not, as there are even ways to relax as you continue to experience the world of Ninth Dawn. Settle down with a fellow citizen and dig into an original card game called Feud with over 180 cards at your disposal. It was pretty simple, utilizing a limited play space and basic math for almost like an Othello type game. There was a little bit of thought to it, but it wasn't too complicated, so it was a nice break from adventuring every once in a while. The soundtrack fit the world very well, with a dark, mysterious, medieval vibe, and the art can be a little bit muddy sometimes, but that comes with the territory in any dynamic pixel art game realistically. And in this case, I felt like less was more. I think the darker color schemes of Ninth Dawn 3 helped keep the somber, serious tone throughout the game, which was very thematically and atmospherically important to me, and something that may not have translated as well with a brighter or more colorful palette. I was honestly a little skeptical about Ninth Dawn 3 at a first glance, but after spending some time with it and really learning the game a little, I feel like it executed what it wanted to do perfectly. and I think that any fans of dungeon crawlers and simple RPGs will enjoy this one, especially mobile gamers, as this feels very well suited for a mobile game and has an insane amount of content to be so readily available on a device at your fingertips. Obviously, if you get bored with dungeon crawling easily, this isn't the game for you, but that doesn't speak to the quality of Ninth Dawn 3 at all, as some people just don't enjoy a repetitive type of game like the vast majority of rinse and repeat dungeon crawlers out there right now. If you're still on the fence though, and don't mind the story being a bit vague, take advantage of the previously mentioned Steam sale and grab it at a discount. I don't think you'll be disappointed if you're in it for a real solid character building adventure RPG. Very much like Skyrim, where I probably have over 1,000 hours myself between files and have never actually beaten the main quests. Some people just feel that call to adventure, and I think Ninth Dawn 3 will hold you over for quite a bit, as the world is enormous and there's so much to do. If you'll be jumping into the world of Ninth Dawn 3, as always, would love to hear what you thought of it in the comments below. Thanks as always for stopping into I Dream of Indie and helping us in our quest to bring a voice to the voiceless ones in gaming. If you'd like to continue to support us on our quest, be sure to subscribe, as we always have new reviews coming, and be sure to check out the details for plenty of other ways to show your support as well. We appreciate you for being here, and I'll see you next time.